everyone, welcome back to XCOM. We're getting into Operation Bubbling Cavern, a very difficult biotroop mission, which is fairly scary as these days biotroops do include biozerkers, biomechs, heavy bioassault troopers, just a lot of really unpleasant units. And there's 30 of them, so I feel like I can safely assume there's probably multiple biomechs, maybe multiple biozerkers, because biotroop deployment massively increases the spawn rate on an otherwise rare unit like the biozerker. It's a little bit scary, and this is not the best team. In fact, I would say this is about the worst team that I can actually justify sending and thinking I can win, because after this, it's like, oh yeah, the units I have after this are not Colonels, not Scions, not Reapers, not good. And because of that, going into this mission, I forgot to hit record at the start of this, I have picked up, where is it? Lightning Strike. I feel like spending the AP here. Wait, no, not Lightning Strike. Was it Untouchable? I had one of these last mission and my brain is melting. Anyway, I've bought the other one. I've upped Lightning Strike and Untouchable compared to where I was a few missions ago, so that Fiberjack can hopefully put the mission on its back a little bit more than normal. But on the whole, I think this team is pretty well suited to the mission. Like, yes, they're the lowest I'm willing to send, but at this point, I'm unwilling to send anything I don't think is really, really strong. They're still good units, it's just like, the cutoff is really egregious, because I keep saying shit like this. Rift Keeper, Biozerker, 30 guys, good luck, have fun. So let's get in there and see how bad it really is. And as we load in, if you could hit the like button, I would greatly appreciate that. I probably should have talked about the team some amount. We'll do it in the mission. With regards to the team we have, we're bringing the second Spark Infiltrator Carbon Mile this time because we're low on soldiers. We have a ton of Shredstorm cannons on this team. Tech Specialist Big Large is here for stasis and mind control with a Warlock Crown. And then in addition to that, it's Baroque Baron and their bond partner, our best Combat Engineer, Total Halibut, as well as White Wolf out for yet another mission, and their bond partner, Field Support Perfect Tragedy. Also, we appear to have a Frost Trooper Elite Trader unit with us, which is nice to see. The performance on this mission is not the best, and this is not the first time I've launched this mission. I started recording it yesterday, was tired, the performance was absolutely terrible, it was worse than this. And today, on a restart of my computer, it's still looking pretty rough. I'm not sure what's caused the performance to go downhill. I imagine it'll be unbearable without the new UI mod to fix the constant refreshing that causes the lag. But man, it's rough. Oh shit, hi. I didn't pull that, did I? No, good. Thank God. So that's 2 pods. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 11 of 30. Also, this Ripper is really random. I figured out why it's here yesterday when I started the mission. I forgot to mention it this time. It's following the Biofaceless. This is the pod leader. Normally, a Biofaceless only appears as a unit that can have followers in the first place on terror missions. So they have Chrysalid followers, just like the base Faceless have Chrysalid followers. However, because Biofaceless get deployed in set reps like this, I should probably remove their Chrysalid followers, because now it does this weird thing where Biotroop deployment also causes random Chrysalid spawns. I'm not sure if this is necessarily bad, but having been the reason it happens, I see that it's unintuitive and not necessarily right. Anyway, let's position for an ambush. Was there high ground? We were in the corner. It's an untied mission. I'm supposed to be reloading everyone's guns with AP rounds. That's part of the mission plan. Man, I got into this mission way too fast this morning. So this high ground is completely unreachable. I think what I want to do, since there's no high ground here, but there is this building back here and it's an untimed mission, I'm just going to fall back to this full cover, which should be safe. Not for my frames, apparently. Not sure what's going on there. And we're going to try to set up on this building and get an ambush on something at some point, which is going to be boring and tedious, and I'll be back with you once we actually start seeing units and figuring out what the ambush is. So I was checking out the possibility of closing this tower to let my Reaper scout around a little bit more, but considering this is a 100% to get all of my AP back, I'm going to save this tower, and that's going to be what my Tech Specialist does during the fight. That's insane. That is a massive thing to have as a guarantee. Okay, finally found another pod. It was the General's pod. We have a Biomech, Rocketeer, Sentinel. I think I saw another one that's gone at this point. Not really a clean way to ambush them, although it's getting to the point where I wonder if I can get inside this house and post up on windows. There just aren't quite enough windows is the main issue with that plan. But they're just not really moving towards where I'm at, which is a bit of a problem for me. Alright, I found another pod. Biozerker, Great Archon on the roof. Super Heavy Mech on the roof as well. That pod has a fucking lot of health. Yeah, I don't want that running in when the fight starts, so we're definitely going to try to sit here and wait until something happens, and that could be a long time, because so far I've seen nothing. Alright, so pretty much the whole team is overwatched on this box. The general is about to patrol in, and I could do a concealed ambush overwatch thing with the Reaper, but then he'd be revealed and he'd probably be the reason we pull more pods. So instead, the Reaper's just gonna try to find out what's going on around the map, keep on scouting, not be the reason things fall apart. Right, since I see nothing here, actually, my lines of sight are pretty limited. I'm not seeing much that the team isn't. There'd have to be a pod right here in the dead corner of the map patrolling in for this to backfire. And I'm prepared for that possibility. We're gonna take the high ground concealed overwatch, make sure they don't get a Beagle Rush ambush by doing this, and really mess up what they perceive to be good cover.
That's it. Check it before
Seems like a really good ambush so far. Let's see how it continues.
you've ghosted our position.
That Sentinel just casually walking to the right. Hey, figured out that things are bad. Alright, yeah, that was a really good start. It's the general and like a fourth of a Rocketeer. The real question is, does a second pod run in immediately? And where do they think is cover? Oh, we're not done. My bad. I wonder how many times White Wolf shot. So they still took cover that was inconvenient for me, but it's not the worst it could have been. I'm surprised the general just like ran up to Baron, but I guess all the cover was bad. White Wolf got another 2 shots out of Overseer. It's a pretty good perk. Now, obviously, I can just shoot the general here. That'll get rid of this. I'm shocked that's not a 100. Excuse me? High cover minus 45. Where is he? I'm sorry, where is he? Because he's most certainly not in high cover relative to the Reaper, where I'm physically looking at him. Oh, he's here. He's on this. He's taking cover from the Reaper. There we go. The general does hit for 6 of 7, so I'd rather not run that on Fiber Giant if I can avoid it, but does he shred? He does not. So Fiber Giant running that is perfectly fine. Worst case scenario, I lose my ablative health. I don't want to, but it'll be fine. Well, I mean, like, we also just have Bombard Protocol that kills the Rocketeer. Oh, right, yeah, they're not actually next to each other. That's very important. Do I use both Bombards now? I believe they make less noise than explosives, so I think the answer is yes. So one Bombard's going to kill this guy. That's not allowed. There we go. I guess I was like in the one tile blocked by the tree and I didn't properly have line of sight to it. Anyway, that'll be one dead Rocketeer. Next up, we do the same thing to the general with the other spark. My cursor snapped to the general because he's glitched out and pulled it off of the thing he's actually standing on, so I'm probably not destroying his cover. It's very frustrating. Well, at least now I can walk up to him and shoot him with this gun. Which, being a Reaper, seems pretty decent, right? And I want to move back to my team anyway, so I'll probably teamwork with, I can't remember Baron's partner's name. Total Halibut. 6 to 9, 50 to crit. 1 in 3, 50. It's not great odds to kill, but I mean, that's going to be true on anyone shooting him, so we just take the shot to start with. Not what I was looking for, but it's fine. We continue to fall back now. We're going to probably teamwork, but I don't know that we have to. There's really not a great way to finish off this general. That's not true. Halibut's not great in an Overwatch no matter what. Yeah, but if I shoot, then I'm not pulling this back, and I really do want to pull back over here. So I am just going to take teamwork here.
Together we are strong.
And I'm going to hit F1 and see if reposition is once per turn, because that's very important information suddenly. Yeah, it's once per turn. I could use Combat Presence as well. That feels like gross overkill. The line of sight down this left side is actually pretty bad because of all these trees. It feels like I just have to move my Marine out, and I hate it because Grapple is currently on cooldown because I was getting in position with the grappling hook. But I do feel like I just have to move my Marine out and take the shot. Their aim is high enough that it will probably hit. I believe the general has some defense,
Okay, I'll go.
but I really don't feel like I have an alternative to moving down and taking the shot. Which is fine. Oh, it's 100. Nice. Thanks to the advanced scope, which is not calculated in your base aim. Fair enough. Alright, mission accomplished. We can leave, right?
That's it.
This is the most I've ever wanted to install the Pyrrhic Victory mod. Because I would love to just leave right now and not deal with the Rift Keeper.
That's how it is.
Anyway, the Reaper's going to run back because I do want him with the rest of the team, even though he will reconceal before any problems can occur. And now I can actually get... Oh, I can't get in the positions because they've already blue moved with the Bombard Protocol. Fair enough. I was hoping to have these guys standing at the front as like full cover for the Marine, but I need them overwatched more than I need anything else. I'm gonna move Fiber Giant up to this corner tile to provide more cover options for us. He's not gonna be moving too far away from everyone. The Mimic Beacon should be standing on the outmost edge. They're just gonna be running shots. They're not actually gonna be landing shots. We all know this. I think I'm happy with Big Large's current position. And I'm looking to reload at least one gun on Perfect Tragedy before overwatching. And I'm going to overwatch on Halberd as well, who also has the Overseer perk, and I just didn't realize. Neat. So hopefully, since we only use guns and electric abilities, we won't have the whole map barreling down on us, and we have time to set up, right?
Got it covered.
We weren't quite set up for the next wave, and neither was our frame rate apparently, but here they come. That's just a Biozerker. There's not like 2 more huge units, so compared to one of the pods on the map, this isn't that bad. And we even landed a shot on the Biozerker on the opening volley. Our Marine's not Overwatch currently. They didn't quite have time, same for the field support, but everyone else should be ready to participate. And apparently that wasn't a trooper, that was a pudding. Unfortunate, but fine. %69% was not nice enough to actually kill the assault, unfortunately. Oh yeah, he might not be on Overwatch. He does have weapons hot and Overseer, so he'll still shoot his gun a lot. That's true. It's a pretty good ability. Thanks, Endgame Marines. I really appreciate you being absolute juggernauts. Alright, so nothing died, but we did deal meaningful damage to almost the whole pod. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that pod's really... Well, is that one pod? Yeah, that's one pod with a Biozerker, a super heavy mech, a whatever kind of Archon that is, and a Rift Keeper. What is this nightmare? I thought we were doing well. I thought we were in the corner of the map. I thought we were playing it safe. I thought we had great Overwatch traps going on. I thought Weapons Hot was doing tons of work. We're going to need to move Perfect Tragedy forward so that we can try to roll panics on these Biozerkers. Because we really don't want to be dealing with 2 of them at the same time. Is the Great Archon actually over here? I don't think that's true. I was going to say he's a priority mind control target, but the Gatekeeper last time just stasised the first thing I mind controlled, right? Like immediately. As soon as I pulled it, I ran the Chrysalid in, it stasised the Chrysalid and broke the mind control. And if they're on the same team, that's actually super powerful, and I don't want that. Now, the good news is that I can hack this tower for a 100% distraction and get an entire extra turn. And that might be the reason we're not going to need to evac. It's only 13. The main thing is just there's some incredibly fucking tanky units here. 3 shots without Overwatch. Pretty solid. I'm just going to go ahead and pop Overdrive on all 3 Sparks. It seems like it's going to happen guaranteed this turn. I can't imagine that it doesn't. Now, normally I would look at fail-safes on a super heavy mech and be like, wow, I shouldn't try this. But I have 2 Sparks with Haywire, and then I also have the Haywire on my, my Tech Specialist. So unless my Tech Specialist has a 100% control hack on something else, yeah, it's never going to be close to 100%. I think the turn is fail-safe. Oh, it's not my first failsafe of the mission anymore because I used my first failsafe already the first time I was hacking this tower like an idiot. So I can't failsafe it and hack the tower, unfortunately. Controlling this spark is just such a massive thing. What is 3 consecutive 1 and 3s? The second one is 55. I think it's about 70%. That's not something you can stake your turn on. I cannot throw 3 Haywires at this 37 and expect a good result. The Rift Keeper is, of course, just out of range. Ain't that a bitch? It's definitely going to be my stasis target. I can get an area suppression onto both Biozerkers, a heavy Bio Assault Trooper, and the super heavy mech. But that shouldn't be the first thing I do. I should shoot something first. These 100s are really nice to look at. Although the 100 to kill the unit I'm suppressing makes it seem like it's not a good suppression target. I don't think I care, though. That's not the main reason I'm concerned with it. Oh, yeah, I have you here with Banish. You don't have face-off. That was just something I couldn't afford to do, apparently. Use teamwork to run you back, hoping to avoid exactly this situation. So no, I can't use it for double mimic beacon, unfortunately. I actually have eyes on this thing from here. We're not killing it this turn, ever. It's blue move, hack the tower, stasis the Rift Keeper. Last action up for debates. The question is just where am I hacking the tower from? I've got plenty of mobility. I can get back to here. This says I lose vision of the tower, but it's actually just glitched. No matter where I move, it says I lose vision of the tower. Thinking about it, stepping out to here, I might actually not see it. So wait, there's an icon showing me if I see the tower. It is active here. So this to me seems like the best spot to hack from, where the least things could potentially flank. It has vision of the Rift Keeper. That's what I really care about. That's what we're going to take for Big Large. Did I just get them shot by an Overwatch? I've sort of spaced out somewhere during the turn. I also wish I knew where the Great Archon actually was. It's... Apparently I pulled a pod. There was just a third one there. Okay. Cool. I assumed that it had been one pod because every single unit I cared about moved, but apparently there were a bunch of smaller units that I didn't care about that weren't part of that pod. Anyway, stasis is going to happen much later in the turn. For now, we start with this shot. There's a 100 on a Ripper. We're about to reload this gun, so there's no reason not to take that.
It's dead.
Is zone suppress 3 or 2 ammo? It's just 2 ammo. That's what I thought. I'm next going to put a bullet into this 100 to kill on the Grenadier, because that does need to actually be guaranteed dead. And then I'm going to put down zone suppression, because I can't imagine it's not the right play. Like, this just can't all be mitigated. That biomech, I think I'm assuming, is dead. And I'm taking... The faceless doesn't really matter. I'd much rather suppress the heavy bio assault trooper, but that bio Zerker is not getting suppressed if I do it. So I think this is the best one. Get both faceless, both bio Zerkers, and the super heavy mech, massively mitigating just how much movement they can have.
Pressing fire on target.
Apparently the faceless in the mech didn't actually feel like being suppressed. That's super cool. Really enjoy that. That's not a minor issue for the UI to give me. Lying about suppressing this unit here is kind of a fucking big deal. Cool. Love it. Absolutely love it. Thanks. Basically, suppression was worthless then, and I should have just shot something. Oh, that makes me so mad. Because the main reason I wanted suppression was to prevent the super heavy mech from being a problem for this turn. Or at least massively mitigate how much of a problem it could be by turning off its missiles. But now it's just all the way over there, fully active, terrifying. Regardless, we reload the gun on total halibut, giving us a free move on perfect tragedy, and we run forward. That was the wrong fucking person.
Reloaded.
That's fine. They were actually out of bullets anyway. So I'll just be getting the action back that wasn't quite the one I planned on. It's not optimal, but it's good enough. At least that's my mistake and not the game just explicitly lying to me. I guess because bipods don't interact well with the zone suppression UI, I'm not really sure what happened there. Now, I can run out to here. There's not really that much more I can pull, right? And just put a bullet into the assault to kill him. Yeah, I like that.
Small shot.
Rage Suit Panic on one of the Biozerkers, which will pull a shot immediately off that suppression, I think. Yeah, there's a heavy bio assault trooper down there that's still a bit of a problem. Oh, there's another pod with a third Biozerker that was just in the same spot as 3 other pods. Okay, cool. Cool. Did that Biozerker panic, or is it also... There's a Elite Naga, there's a Spectre. That Biozerker didn't panic. This one that is panicking decided it didn't feel like being shot. That's cool, I guess. That AoE suppression was especially terrible on account of the fact that it can't ever have been the right call because I have more actions later. Also, I've never actually gotten aim Rupture at anything in this campaign yet. Rupture does roll to hit. I thought it did, but I wasn't sure. I'm going to take Kinetic Strike on this Naga, and then I'm going to move over and punch the Biomech with my free moves for killing the Naga. Oh, that's not a Naga, that's just a Bio Viper. The Naga's on the other side of the map somewhere. Don't dodge it. All right, good, excellent.
No life signs present.
Thanks to physics, that didn't actually get me. Wonderful. Gonna take a smaller move to make sure I don't accidentally use something other than the breakthrough move.
Confirmed.
I am now going to Kinetic Strike the Biomech. Fireden's is down here cleaning house. Don't worry about it. This Biophase isn't suppressed, so I may as well walk up to it and punch it, right? Seems sensible to me.
Movement engaged.
Last action, continue solving problems. Just carving a bloody path through the enemies, it's fine. The Bio Viper Elite doesn't go down in one punch, so I can't just like punch to kill the snakes. I can punch Lightning Strike punch. I might be better off going down here to do that. Lightning Strike into the Spectre punch. Yeah, I want to go deal with the Spectre. I think the Spectre and the Biomech on the right side are my biggest fears. So I'm going to keep running right on Fiber Giant. This tower is the reason I'm not evacuating, by the way. It's so important. It's so important. This is ridiculous. I should not be able to do this. All right, so check out this. It's a really good Shredstorm cannon, right? Except for the part where it destroys the tower and I fucking squad wipe as a direct result. Let's do that later in the turn. To start the turn, I think we're good just taking a bunch of shots from up top at, say, the Biozerker that's not going to die, right? That Biophasis doesn't bother me. This Biozerker's panicking. That Biozerker needs to get shot, like, kind of a lot. We have a guaranteed hit on rapid fire. Sign me up. So that should get the Biozerker, at least one of them, into a manageable state. It's nowhere near dead, though. If I do this, it's probably dead to a Shredstorm cannon, so I want one more bullet into it. Man, almost got him. That would have been nice. It's definitely dead to a Shredstorm cannon now. Next enemy I'm scared of. The Super Heavy Mech is in range. Well, I don't mind if I do then. 98%. If you could just be a big damn hero for a second, Carbon Mile, I would be really appreciative. So it's generating armor. Thankfully, we've given AP ammo to all of our units because there's just kind of a lot of armor going around. Just keep pumping bullets into him. It'll eventually work out, we promise. He's not dead to a Shredstorm cannon yet, right? 10 to 12. He's dead to a Shredstorm cannon. The Archon somewhere, we definitely don't want to shoot him. Someone will kill that Assault at some point. Heavy Bio Assault Trooper, this must be a shield variant. Oh, you're in high cover relative to me. So he's not actually on this side of the fence, is what I'm hearing. I'm going to give it a save and load to figure out where this unit is, because I don't know how to deal with them, because I literally don't know where it's at. The same's true to a lesser degree of this Great Archon, so give me a second. All right, so the Great Archon and Heavy Bio Assault Trooper are both on this side of the fence. Cool. Now that I've reloaded, the game thinks that moving will get me shot. I'm not sure by who. I'm just gonna run forward on the Frosted Trooper Elite and let him get shot because I literally ran Fiber Giant through this area. I don't know who could possibly be shooting him. I think the game's just lying. Certainly the frame rate's not lying. It's busy dying. Now that I'm down here, I thought I would have a better shot on some of this stuff than I do. Who's the flanked guy? Because I thought I'd be flanking you. Oh, it's only a 60 though. Well, that's tragic. You have a cryo grenade, but the throwing arm is not strong enough to make it to the Bio Assault Trooper. Still, I can force this into a guaranteed kill on the Assault, freeing up Perfect Tragedy to do something more valuable. This claims it somehow works, and I trust target preview absolutely over whatever the screen is saying, like Assault's flashing, Perfect Tragedy isn't, therefore this works. But as far as my eyes can tell, that absolutely doesn't work. Thankfully, the UI was correct, as it always is when it comes to grenades. I feel like I know what I need to do here. Is there something to mind control on this side that's biological and actually scary? Yeah, probably. There's a Biozerker somewhere. 1, 2. We pulled a third one. Who knows where it's at? Oh, we can just mind control the Heavy Bio Assault Trooper. That's completely fine. Active 19, remaining 19. There's no longer any fear of pulling, which is what I was hoping to say. So we can just Icarus jump straight in on Total Halibut and start putting down flamethrowers. So we Icarus jump into full cover. Bye, everyone. Good luck with your side of the fight. I'll be taking sick flanks over here. As our first time using a major comm engineer, they get this ability called Quick Burn automatically. It's a free action that makes your next flamethrower a free action. It's a little bit unfortunate that this Biotrooper is somehow not in the path of the flamethrower. Gotta be honest, I'm not sure how that shit works. But this Heavy Bio Assault Trooper needs to go down. And the Great Archon's panicking so we can get to it eventually. I still like it.
This might burn a little.
I don't like the animation so much, but it's doing work. This Bio Assault Trooper is still not dead. How's the other one doing? Oh, they took basically no damage, huh? Rupture deals 9 to 12, and normal shot deals 9 to 12. I'm basically looking for a crit to kill. We're probably finishing you off next turn, huh, buddy? Well, next turn is just when I hack the thing, but yeah, we need to take this shot. That's about what I was expecting. Is Banish getting saved for the Rift Keeper? Do I have Xenovore? All the questions. No, of course not. I blue move forward, I take the flank shot on the Biotrooper, and I use reposition to keep moving towards the Rift Keeper. I think that's the play. 100. Love to see it. Total Halibut and Baroque Baron actually continuing to work as a team over here, to my surprise. I'm free to just full move as far as I can. It doesn't matter, because we're going to hack and get another move before the turn's over. Yeah, no shit, you spotted the enemy. He ran directly at you. I can capacitor discharge on this pile of shit. None of it's dying normally. I can get the super heavy mech in it too. Doesn't really matter because it's already dead to Shredstorm, but if I can avoid being forced into Shredstorming this, that's great. Shredstorm's not killing this pile on its own, so this seems like a great capacitor discharge. Anyway, I didn't like that fence. Oh, the fence is still there. Well, I still don't like that fence then. Lastly, I have a bullet over here. I think what I do is I just run forward to position better for the Shredstorm cannons. That seems incredibly reasonable to me. I don't see why I should take the shot instead of getting a second Shredstorm cannon. Is it down to just big large? It's time for the hack of the century, the play of the game. This random tower that somehow represents 20 actions for my team. Sorry, 16. For some reason, I thought I had 10 people on the team. Yeah, squad recovers all action points already spent this turn. Let's go. I'll be taking my victory now, thank you. Holy shit. I am so glad that was there. I might have just evac'd on that hole if it hadn't been for this tower. Now I have stasis mind control. We'll get into those after we get into these. Shredstorm cannons. This looks like it's going to deal with the Bio Vipers, huh? I'm not able to really deal with the guy on the left, but that's fine by me. Shredstorm 1 from Carbon Mile. Immediately followed, I imagine, by Shredstorm 2. By the way, Carbon Mile, while they are destroying my frames, are also probably getting the MVP of the mission. The second Shredstorm cannon can target this guy because I've killed the guys who are further right. And I would love to. This is why we spent hundreds upon hundreds of supplies to build Shredstorm after Shredstorm after Shredstorm. It's kind of a powerful weapon. Can I banish the Rift Keeper now? About 4 shots. I can get to the high ground next to it. I mean, I want to be on this tile no matter what. That might just be banished now. Like, sustain does mean it gets an action as opposed to not getting an action. There are other dangerous things, like this Biozerker. 1 second. Let's grab this Rage Strike and try to reveal ourselves to the Biozerker, right? I can go out to here and then reposition. Well, if the Biozerker doesn't panic, this could be very bad, right? Oh, you know what? I can't actually see the guy I want to mind control this turn. I guess I'll have to Skulljack him then. Instead of using stasis this turn, I could run forward and mind control the Biozerker in the back. If I can get eyes on him, which I don't think I can. I can Rage Strike this Hunter drone, and then if the Biozerker doesn't panic, grapple away. And I love that. I don't love the frames on this mission, it's just a bit rough. Drone barely standing. How's the Biozerker doing? Completely unfazed. Time to leave. Going to pop over here. Seems like a sensible thing to do. And we'll figure out the rest later, because I don't want to be on that side of the map anymore. Now that we've confirmed the Biozerker isn't panicking, it seems terrible to be over there. So I'm definitely looking at Stasis, Rift Keeper, Skulljack, Heavy Bio Assault. To look at that, I should really consider, is this going to hit? Not even close to reliably enough, unfortunately. In that case, banish it is. I was not expecting this to be a 71. Are you sure about that? Defense minus 35. Banish minus 15. All right, fair, fair, fair. This guy doesn't have efficient targeting. What he does have are battle scanners. And the perk to make them actually do something. So we're going to chuck this battle scanner, which actually I think is going to be a huge buff to the Bio Assault Trooper accuracy as well. Then we're going to holo target the Rift Keeper, because apparently it's just too hard to hit this giant sphere. We compare it to the broadside of a barn, but apparently it's just actually untouchable. Now, quick check, as the plans may have changed. Still 86. You don't actually get the bonus for things that should give you bonuses to aim. You just get the amount of aim you have over your base aim of 60 that you have as a rookie. Very weird. Not quite sure how that works. If anyone knows the Skulljack, like what does and doesn't count, I would love to hear it. Anyway, it's time to banish. We're up to 96%. That should put it into sustain. You know, Baroque Baron, I am inclined to agree with you. Intense xenophobia seems like a great political viewpoint to have in these trying times. For some reason I was worried during this. We get the Rift Keeper down, it goes into stasis. Hate to see stasis going off, but I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. So this AoE suppression, like actually not doing anything? Actually not doing anything. It's suppressing a panicked Bioserker. This is a sick grapple, I'm just not sure it helps anything. Oh, you know what? I can try to Skulljack the Biotrooper. If I fail, I can mind control him, right? I can run forward to here. Wait, where's the Bioserker at? I can run to here to see the Bioserker. Mind control the Bioserker. Use teamwork on my Marine to give an action to my field support to use inspiring presence on my tech specialist Big Large, who will be in the middle, have eyesight of the Bio Assault Trooper, and then stasis the Bio Assault. For that to be safe, we need to see what's happening over here. We haven't gotten through all of this yet. I can Burning Rush, move over, punch. That'll end my turn. So instead, what I want to do is Burning Rush, move to here, punch, Lightning Strike, punch. I think that's it. Anyway, let's get to it. Time to kill. Kinetic Strike's down. Concussive Strike. Stun for 2 action points. Cannot target robotic units. Damn. Hey, Spectre, what do you count as? Not a robotic unit, apparently. I'll take it. So we're going to stun the Spectre, then Lightning Strike into the Biomech and punch the Biomech, probably. We would like to shred the Biomech first. Mr. Spectre, I can't help but notice that you are still intact. I can bring down the Faceless, the Spectre, deal very meaningful damage to the Biomech. It means Fiber Giant will not be functioning as a tank during this turn, and I don't think that's worth doing. The issue is that Lightning Strike just sort of sucks now. I'm just gonna kill the Spectre, it has to be dead. The Biomech being awake and alive sucks, I don't like it, but that has to happen.
Target neutralized.
Oh, Breakthrough's triggering again. I was not expecting this. But I only had the movement, so it's not actually that helpful. Still, I'll move adjacent to the Biomech. And then again a little bit, just so it'll stop telling me about this. Fiber Giant might be going into the infirmary for a while and being replaced with Dread Mechanism, which is very scary. But, yeah, we need them to tank this turn, unfortunately. I can take Teamwork here to give an action to Perfect Tragedy, to give an action to Baroque Baron, to throw a Mimic Beacon. Certainly, there just aren't enough things from a Marine to be shooting that matter for me to think it's best to do anything here. Let's take a look at Carbon Mile. We have a Shredstorm Cannon here. It's probably not going to have great eyes on anything. Actually, that Shredstorm Cannon's perfect. It's hitting all of the problems I currently have. I use both of them. I'm left with one weak Bio Assault Trooper that gets killed by Halibut. Use it. I do feel kind of bad for destroying the tower that let me win the mission. But, it's just sort of gotta get shot. You might think blast padding will keep you safe, but after the 4th Shredstorm Cannon, you will learn that no one is truly safe. Nice crit, super unnecessary. Going to Blue Moo Bug out to here and try to kill the Bio Assault Trooper with my Frost Trooper Elite because he's useless. I can take this explosive for a guaranteed kill on the Advent Hunter drone. Damage on multiple other units. You know, you suck so much that I'm just going to take this shot and let someone more reliable try to kill the bio-assault then. I don't care about loot destroyed at all. I care about surviving the mission. The heavy bio-assault trooper is one of the last threatening units. But mind controlling it probably doesn't work. Move here, stasis the biomac. We still have the option of going for stasis plus. And I'm inclined to believe I have to go for it. Moving to here, my field support can see me. I stasis the mech, combat presence, mind control the bio-assault. Yes, that means the Riftkeeper can break the mind control, but if it's stasising their own units, then that's honestly not that bad for me. So it's what we're going for. We stasis the mech first because it's the more important part of this. That mech is just terrifying.
I'm very protective.
Interesting dialogue there, Big Large. I'm not sure I approve of that line. Next, we take our inspiring presence, or sorry, our combat presence onto Big Large and use it to trigger mind control. And we take this heavy bio-assault trooper down. Okay. I feel like we've done it. It's still a little bit sketch, but I feel like we've done it. Do I have any damper field type stuff on this soldier? No. So this is adjacent to the Riftkeeper. I'm going to walk to here.
What's over there?
Total Halibut's not an A-team soldier, and being a combat engineer with a bio-assault vest, they should be fine. I'm gonna chuck this mine onto the Riftkeeper. Don't mess with me, game. You know you can put it on the Riftkeeper. This is so frustrating, words cannot even begin to describe it. There, that's a mine that's touching the Riftkeeper, I think. Hopefully what it does is it does stasis to break mind control and immediately dies now. Then we spend our shotgun putting down this bio-assault. Would our flamethrower be more guaranteed? Yes, so I will. Oh, well, he's burning, so he should die anyway. We're left with White Wolf with one action, and that is it. I guess he could have dealt with it, huh? Well, he's burning to death, so I'm going to shoot the Bio-Zerker instead. All right, let's see it. Adamant team. Oh, 2 HP regenerated. Are you serious? Very frustrating. Guess I shot the wrong one. Did it trigger the mine and immune it, or was that the, I think that was acid damage, right? This is obviously gonna hurt. Like, there's gonna be wounds during this turn, but most of the people who are exposed have a lot of health. Although this car exploding behind him does make it suck more. Yeah, it was less bad before the car exploded. The frames are terrible, though. This mission has, like, the load times are also terrible. This mission's just been brutal on performance. You mark him? I wasn't expecting you to have that ability. Anyway, it's time for Rock'em Sock'em Robots, and I expect the Bio-Zerker to win this one.
Audible armor deflection.
Untouchable, baby! I forgot I bought that. Hell yeah.
Taking hostile weapons
Feels
fire.
good. Alright, theoretically, you should die immediately because that triggers the mine. Right? Of course you summoned a chrysalid chameleon. Is that even a chameleon? It looks a little bit weird. I think it's a chameleon. Certainly acting like a chameleon. Oh no, the rip just doesn't trigger the mine. You just get fucked. We don't trigger mines with this ability. A commando and a guardian too, huh? Could you guys run through the mine, please? Because he's refusing to trigger it. No, okay. It's fine, Halibut. It's fine. I guess he missed, so it's alright that we low-rolled the burning and didn't know about the regen. I certainly feel like the Riftkeeper should be dead. I put a mine on it, and the game's just like, no, you didn't. That didn't happen. But sure, why not? Alright, it's back to our turn. Big Large actually cannot leave, because if they do, we'll lose the mind control, but I am just going to sprint them into the corner of the map, I think. Like, just use the ability to summon some dudes and then run away. Let's get They Follow You going, though. I'm sorry, did you summon the Queen? Or is that just like a visual thing where you're like invoking the Queen's psionic power?
More lambs to the
Okay, it's just a visual thing. Good. I was very worried for a second. I've got 2 Shredstorm cannons. I don't want to run away with you as much as I thought I did. I'll come back to you then. Up here, I've got eyes on the Bio Assault Trooper. I'd rather not. The Bio Zerker is currently panicking. It's still panicking for at least one more turn, right? Yeah. The Rift Keeper does need to die, but I feel like lots of people can do that. I'm probably just going to finish both of them off up here. It's not like White Wolf can see anything else, so...
Check it before you get too close.
We should probably walk away on our Combat Engineer first, and he can come help deal with this Bio Faceless. That might actually be running an Overwatch. It might be another glitch. I am honestly just past caring. I'm like, he's got a lot of ablative health and armor. He's fine.
Incoming, over here.
Not that they'll land the shot. We're definitely past the hard part of the mission. We're just deep into the frame loss part of the mission. Solid 10 damage. The heavy Bio Assault should be enough to finish it off, I think. We should confirm that's true. How much damage do you hit for? 5 to 6? But what about this part? 8 to 10. Not necessarily guaranteed to hit, but still. Good, love to see it. Which brings us back around to White Wolf, who needs to be finishing off this Rift Keeper. He could do other things. He could grapple over here and see nothing. That's a thing he can do. So I'll go ahead and shoot the Rift Keeper, I guess. And then next turn I'll just put bullets into the Bio Zerker. That makes sense.
Dead. It has to be dead.
Right, so there's just like a bunch of shit here. I'd rather it wasn't. I think this is just Supernova. Moving might trigger its counterpunch ability, but I'm already next to it, so I think I'm exempt from that. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I'm just gonna go for it and hope it works. Yes, okay, good. I thought I'd been in this situation before. It's only when you run into, not when you run out. Anyway, huge damage on the Biomech, killed the Rocketeer, working on the Bio Zerker. Great start. Yeah, you're real mad about it. Ask me if I give a shit. This seems just like Reload Mimic Beacon is so safe and good that there's no reason not to do it. Like, why would I make any play other than this? Reload, shoot the Bio Zerker. Like, I'm very far from the action. I can't really ever get involved. I can move forward and shoot the Bio Zerker with the intent of being in position to Supernova next turn. I think that actually is better. There's just a lot of people on Team XCOM right now, aren't there? I get the reposition so I can get even closer for that presumed Supernova. God, I wish the frame rate were not so abysmal. Going to run forward on the Frost Trooper Elite. Put a bullet into the Biomech. Isn't it immune? It says it's not immune. I don't know why it says it's not immune, but it isn't. Cool. I would think the Frost Gun would not deal damage to mechs, because that's how the game is supposed to work, but here we are. Run forward, shot at the Bio Zerker. I can actually stand still, reload, shot at the Bio Zerker. I prefer that.
Re-up and reload.
Oh, I thought I was seeing the other Bio Zerker. My bad. Well, I guess I'm shooting this one then. Fuck it.
I'm going to need a bigger gun.
And then run forward with a reposition move. I can confidently say that Big Large just needs to survive. I can also confidently say that there's a chameleon on the loose, and that information is very relevant to what I just said. So a battle scanner's range is substantially less than a chameleon's mobility. If you throw a battle scanner directly at your feet, a chameleon can walk up to you from outside of range and hit you. That's so gross. I'm going to tag this Bio Zerker, and it's also going to tag the area the chameleon was in. If I do that, I'm standing in the open. And as I've said repeatedly, I like this character being alive. I can't evac. I need this Bio Assault to stay mind controlled. It's so unsafe. I'm going to activate Sprint on Perfect Tragedy. Sprint across the road and chuck some bandages at that man. It's the only heal this team has, but it's good enough, I think. Yeah, there we go. That'll at least help. He's not safe now, but he'll be safer soon. I can also encourage the chameleon to attack literally anyone else by using aid protocol on this guy. And this aid protocol puts us in a position where theoretically all the other people are much better targets. Don't you want to go stab them instead? I can Shred Storm Cannon this Guardian. I can also hit the Bio Zerker with it, but like, it's further away. In terms of what they're doing to the Mimic Beacon, it's actually pretty similar. This actually kills a unit. I'm definitely looking at this more in terms of how many actions the Mimic Beacon is taking, and this is a better solution in that regard. I guess you guys can stab this Bio Zerker a lot. I don't see a reason you can't. Oh, 55 to hit, huh? Man, you guys suck. Well, good luck. Whoa, 2 damage. Really showed him. Okay, you know what? Thanks to the armor generation, just go do something else, you know? Everywhere I send him on the roof, he's getting lit on fire or poisoned by acid, so I'm just gonna run him out here instead. Not that the game's actually gonna be able to render any— oh, I found the chameleon, cool. Bye, I guess. The good news is that my tech specialist is safe if it ran in that direction. So they've got the Elite Naga. That'll deal a ton of damage to the Mimic Beacon and not kill it. Oh, it just double moved, I think? Weird. Biozerker dealing a lot of damage, not quite one-shotting though. That'll take 1 more shot. I believe the Chameleon's too far away, so it's just gonna run up to it and end its turn. I am incorrect.
One of our units falls.
The Commando gets a free turn, which is not what I wanted. Still, it should have better targets. Good. I don't care who you're shooting, just I'm glad it's not big large. Sucks for Perfect Tragedy, but I don't really care about them very much, I'm gonna be honest with you. The main reason they matter is because they're White Wolf's partner, not anything about them intrinsically. There were a lot of explosions, don't worry about it, it didn't hurt anyone we care about. Looking at this pile up, Supernova does a lot of work. It's like a second ago, it sure is handy how Big Large has all these Shredstorm guns. Gonna go ahead and come use them.
Absolutely.
Now, the really cool thing here is the game is just explicitly lying about where the Chameleon is, and it's actually over here somewhere. It's exactly 1 tile out of being in a perfect position. You hate to see it. But that's actually tolerable.
Storm's coming.
What we can do is we can, like, suppress it and Overwatch, and then use Supernova to trigger it to scamper and kill it there. I overestimated how close I was going to be on White Wolf. Maybe I can grapple across to where Baroque Baron's at in the Playhouse. If I can use the Frost Whip, and that'll just solve my problems easily. No, of course not. Okay, I'm just gonna go for the Supernova, it seems sensible. This Supernova gets everything except for the Naga, and the Chameleon will scamper with 3 health. So that's a good start. Good physics on the Biozerker, though. So I believe what's going to happen is it's going to turn invisible, but it doesn't actually move. And we can test this immediately because we do have a scanner down here. So we chuck that, and it should, I think, immediately reveal the Chameleon. You hate to see it. So my next best bet is to take this random mind control guy and just sprint him in this direction and see if it reveals it. Nah. We're going to take this Chameleon. Or sorry, this Chrysalid, rather. It doesn't want to be selected. I guess I already used them this turn and they were useless. Damn shame. Well, it's fine. We can just throw another Mimic Beacon about it, I guess. And now wherever the Chameleon is, whatever it's doing, it'll go for the Mimic Beacon instead of people it can kill, so it's fine. And we'll just put this down instead of doing whatever we were planning on doing with White Wolf. Oh, that's embarrassing. So, like I was saying, we're just gonna put down the Biozerker, right? Good. Oh yeah, we never actually did deal with this Frost Naga. Thankfully, Total Halibut's on the case.
I guess that'll be okay.
And I'll see you when the Chameleon decides to die, because we're just waiting for it now. Who knows how long it'll take.
On reserves.
Huh, it appears that as a result of potentially the new UI mod that's helping fix the lag, I don't want to think about how bad this would be without it, but as a result, I can no longer see the experience on these soldiers in mission. Can I F1 to find out? Doesn't look like it. Damn shame. In that case, we're just going to throw a Bombard Protocol at him instead of hunting him down with unranked soldiers, because I don't feel like dealing with it. Coming over to mission debriefing, Carbon Mile got the MVP. They did disgusting work with Shredstorm cannons. Big Large actually got the MVP. Their hack, mind control, and stasis were all integral parts of that. The hack in particular was absolutely critical to us being able to survive it. Perfect Tragedy was, I feel like they were core as well. The fact that everyone had AP rounds was incredibly important. Halibut actually getting really good numbers for a combat engineer at this point in the game. Baroque Baron used Banish and it was great. Good job. Thank you for coming. White Wolf also just doing, you know, normal late game Marine things. Fibergiant doing surprisingly little damage, honestly. There was a turn where it felt like he was the reason things were going well. It's the first half of the hack turn where he just carved away through like 3 or 4 priority units. And apparently that turn was just about everything he did in the entire mission, so checks out. insane in his element, but useless outside of it. That is Pioneers in a nutshell. So White Wolf, despite spending most of the campaign in the infirmary, is making it up to Colonel as my first Colonel Marine, and I really think I have to spend AP on him for this to be good, which will be 10 XCOM AP, which is unfortunate. But Tactical Sense is absolutely fucking useless. In XCOM 1 Long War, you were able to use Tactical Sense to get more defense, you'd suppress people, and the AI said if you're being suppressed, you shoot the person suppressing you. And that meant that you were safer when you were using suppression. That's not in this game, they'll just shoot someone else. There's no reason to get Tactical Sense, because all it does is make the enemy shoot a different unit. It doesn't actually make this unit more durable, it just makes the damage go onto someone else. Aggression is nice. This is essentially just 15% crit chance very, very frequently, which admittedly is quite good. And honestly, rather than spending AP on this so that I can use like the Graze nonsense with AoE suppression, I think aggression's good enough. I think 15% crit chance when you're throwing out as many bullets as a Marine is absolutely massive, so I'll take that. And of course, no promotions on the second page, that's the Sparks. Supplies, corpses, I don't think I have anything new in the corpse department. Maybe the Riftkeeper shell or the drone Rex could be new, I don't know. Oh yeah, the last Riftkeeper corpse was either in a mission where we didn't get to take it back, or it was destroyed. Cool. And we managed to prevent high alert. It was fairly important that we do that. It would be rather severely inconvenient if we didn't. Big Large, your fear of fire. Chance to panic when burning or squad mates are burning. So it's not the presence of fire, but when squad mates are burning is definitely a lot worse than just when you were burning. Still, it's fine. Also, how do you have that if you're a firefighter? One second, what does firefighter say? It feels like you shouldn't have both of these at once. This unit has had experience operating in flame-filled environments and knows how to put themselves out quick, at least when their fear of fire hasn't caused them to panic, in which case they'll just panic and be on fire for a while, because they will forget that they are a firefighter due to their crippling fear of fire. It was a bad career path. And alright, that's the double mission that popped up done with. There's no way we're doing this assault. We've got wounds on some fairly important soldiers, so I'm actually going to go to Templar HQ, because we really are just waiting for research and troop roster, because only the top end of our roster exists anymore. We can't trust anything else, and the Black Eye Skulljack is done. We need to go put in something else. I shouldn't ever need a third Black Eye Skulljack. I'm tempted to make Winter King Fangs. I don't think I'm going to need the Illyrium. I'm definitely not going to need the alloys. Because I'm kind of just at the point in the game where if I see an infiltration mission, I'm just going to laugh and say no. It's just not worth the danger. The ruler suits, the gear is so thin. I can't afford to send a team out without the best PCSs, without the ruler suits. I'm at a point in the game where an infiltration mission I just don't think is a mission I should be taking. I don't need to expand my repair bays. I don't care about gas bombs. I don't care about shredder guns. Experimental powered weapons are nice, but they'll burn through all my supplies very quickly if I try to roll that roulette. It's really just for the powered strike module too, right? Like, I don't actually care about getting the plasma blaster or the blaster launcher. I definitely don't care about the Kuruka autopulsor or the Hellfire projector. It's really just the powered strike module, I think. We can also spend our supplies making some superior things. For instance, we can spend some Illyrium crystals, alloys, and 90 supplies to get a superior scope, and that's cool and all, but I think what I'm leaning forward to, or leaning towards rather, is Winter King's Fangs. Because, like, if there's a unique thing being added by one of the mods, then I want to use it. Even if I'm completely convinced that this is supposed to say 75 supplies, and I will be changing that in my tweaks mod if I keep this mod around. This is obviously just weird. But for now, we're going to begin the Winter King's Fangs, in spite of the fact that it costs more Illyrium than it has any right to. And then we'll keep on scanning here to make sure our people are back on their feet as quick as possible. Covert action expiring, don't care. New covert action to remove a dark event, don't care. Infiltration mission for Reaper affiliated, don't care. We got Null Lands on Sword Saint. They are becoming a more and more competent long-range unit. Domination and Soulstorm are both pretty good. I mean, it's got to be the Domination, though, right? Like, this isn't really a choice. Insanity, dealing guaranteed damage, it's nice. Soul Merge is okay. Soulstorm seems like it's probably really good, but this says Domination. I click Domination. And with Null Lance and Domination, I might just be able to start doing other things. Just stop caring about training that unit any further in Psionics. Because this is Delay, Avatar Project Major Breakthrough, this is not worth 2 missions to me unless the missions are really easy. And looking at this, I see the Chrysalid Hunter Killer, which I've never seen before. I think that's probably the Long War Standalone. Berserker Omega, great big fuck off pile of mutons, a Sectopod, a mech. Savage actually means that there might be more than one Berserker Omega. Because the fact that I'm only seeing... Oh, there's the normal Berserker, okay. It could still mean that. I'm not doing 2 missions to stop this. Look at the Avatar project. I'm good. You can go ahead and have that one. This probably leads to an infiltration mission, meaning I don't actually care about it. Yeah. Sorry, infiltrations are just too dangerous at this point in the campaign. We have our eyes set on Waterworld. We're not doing that. This is probably necessary, right? Yeah, this is for stopping the Faceless, Venator, Viper. 1 second, I want to see the top. How dare you? Venator, Viper, Heavy Mech, Exalted Pathfinder, Elite Trooper, Rift Keeper, Elite Purifier, Mutant Pyro, Frost Andromedon, Mutant Devastator, Commando, Lost Howler, and Brute on Advent side. Okay, so it does show the Lost just up here like it's normal. That's really weird. I wonder why it doesn't show the Hive then. I thought that was... Alright, so I just misremembered how the base game worked. Also, surely there should be just normal Lost listed as well, not just Lost Howler and Lost Brute. There's going to be some normal Lost, and it's not really working perfectly for the vanilla stuff either, is it? But I see Venator, Rift Keeper, and I feel fear. Let's see who's available to go on a mission. That's very important when we're deciding to do this. Sonic Serenade is out for 4 days, so they will not be coming on this mission, unfortunately. Sword Saint is still crippled on will and not coming on this mission. Black Cat, White Wolf, Iron Rhino, Dark Horse, Depressed Draugr, all tired. We could wait for Draugr, but that doesn't really seem sensible. We are pretty thin on units at this point. Because I'm looking at what we have. I'm able to bring the 3 Sparks again. I can bring Halibut and Baroque Baron, bring that bond pair of Combat Engineer and Reaper. And for the last 3 slots, it is not looking hot. Several wounds that are currently being healed up. At this point, Hulking Cardinal is taking so long to get to Major, they're probably going to be taking a Covert Op for a promotion if we can do that on them next month. And that's how they'll get to Colonel. This is going to cost a lot, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to build an Illyrium Spark Shield. I'm going to bring both of my Pioneers on the same mission. We're going to build another Anodized Chassis. And we're going to build a second Kinetic Strike module. So unlike all my other Sparks, Dread Mechanism is an aesthetic that has to be changed each time you tier up, because it's meant to look like the level of armor is at. So the final tier of Dread Mechanism was virtually unrecognizable, but I think I can dig it. Now, I did buy all that shit assuming I was sending this mission, but I haven't found an 8th member yet. We literally can't even use all of our ruler suits because there's not even a 4th normal unit on the team. Alright, I believe we're fully capable of doing this mission. I'm not confident in the team, but I am confident in their gear and my ability to play them. It's not pretty. We have 4 Sparks and a hero unit. We're not even able to use all the ruler suits on this team. There's really no one left. Like, it's been a while since we've seen Steel Guardian. He's about to make Colonel. He was one of our best units for a long time. The main issue with Steel Guardian being that, like, they're just a random sapper. Our long range in this team is a sapper pretending to be a Marine, and then the infiltrators, and that's sort of it. It's a very janky, hard to play team with a ton of cover destruction. I think with double infiltrator, tech specialist, double pioneer, we should be able to tank through it. But this is going to have to be played fairly differently than our previous missions. I see that the Shadow Chamber is not having it, is it? But yeah, 40 enemies is a very substantial amount, even if it is counting the Lost. We have some very scary units such as Venators and Rift Keepers in there. I'm definitely stressed about Operation Barbed Rage, but I think we can handle it. The roster is feeling pretty thin now that only the very top level of the roster feels usable. At the same time, though, covert operations no longer really count against us, and like infiltration missions aren't happening, so there's less missions that need to be done, but it's still very, very scary. I think we can do it. That's for next time, though. For now, I'm done. I've been rather coherent. I've been having a blast with XCOM 2, and I hope you've been enjoying watching it as well. Thank you for watching. Thank you to my one Patreon supporter, Jeffrey V, and to the modding community at large for making playthroughs like this possible. See you in the next one.